We're surrounded by steel, right? Buildings, bridges, cars.
It's the backbone of the modern world. Absolutely.
But I gotta admit, I don't think about where it actually comes from that often.
Right.
So today, we are diving deep into the world of global steel trading with this company overview of Samin Hadid. Should be
Oh,
interesting.
this can be good. See, most people see steel. They see the finished product, but they don't think about the journey. This is about more than just buying and selling. We're talking about sourcing raw materials, navigating international standards,
And
logistics.
a whole intricate dance, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's all happening against a backdrop of fluctuating prices, geopolitical factors.
Okay, so let's talk Samin Hadid. What struck me right away, just from the overview you sent, founded by two brothers.
Talk about a classic entrepreneurial story, right?
Exactly. But it's not just some small operation. They're exporting to what, over 10 countries?
More than 10, yeah, which is really impressive when you think about it.
Especially with the whole sanctions situation. How are they navigating that, by the way? It's got to be a headache.
They're being smart about it, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
They're very strategic in their approach. Like, take their presence in Southeast Asia, for example.
Okay.
It's not as simple as, oh, there's a demand for steel, let's ship it over.
Yeah.
Each country has its own set of import regulations, quality standards, the whole 9 yards.
So how do they deal with that?
Samin Hadid has clearly figured out how to navigate all that, become a reliable partner, even when the regulatory waters are, let's just say, a little murky.
Which makes sense because when you think about their product range, it's pretty diverse. I mean, they've got everything from those massive beams we were talking about to rebar, sheets, even wire rods. It's not one size fits all.
Absolutely not. The steel you'd use for, say, a skyscraper in Dubai is going to be different from what you need for a bridge in Europe. Different stresses, different conditions.
And you're handling all of that.
That's what impressed me. It suggests they really understand the needs of their clients. They're matching the right product to the right project.
It's that specialized knowledge, right? And speaking of which, this overview mentioned they hold ISO and ASTM certifications.
Oh, they're serious about quality, that's for sure.
Not just some fly-by-night operation. They're playing by the rules in a market where that probably matters a lot.
Hugely. Because let's face it, there are counterfeits out there. Supply chain disruptions. For Samin Hadid to have those certifications, it's like a signal to clients saying, look, you can trust that our steel is the real deal.
It's got to be a huge advantage in the long run. And it's clearly working, right? Over 25,000 tons of steel exported. That's got to be to, what, over 100 clients?
They've definitely made a name for themselves, that's for sure.
Okay, but I got to circle back to the sanctions thing. The overview mentioned legal and compliant channels, but didn't really get into it.
It's a bit of a gray area, isn't it?
Definitely sensitive.
Think about it. You're trying to manage a global operation, shipping steel all over the world, and suddenly there's a trade dispute. New sanctions imposed.
A wrench in the works.
Exactly. So for them to be thriving like this suggests they're not only good at the logistics of shipping, but also at navigating the geopolitical side of things.
The diplomacy of it all. It's like they're playing 3D chess while everyone else is doing checkers, honestly.
It's impressive.
And then on top of that, they're highlighting their logistics as a key strength. And, I mean, it's got to be more than just, we have a lot of ships, right?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking optimizing routes, anticipating potential delays, having backup plans.
Always staying one step ahead.
Exactly. They're coordinating a global network of suppliers, ports, transportation, and doing it all while following all the rules and regulations, which is no small feat.
And the relationships. They've cultivated relationships with, what is it, over 20 trusted suppliers? That kind of network doesn't just appear overnight.
It really speaks to their long-term vision, I think.
Yeah.
In a world that's all about instant gratification, they're playing the long game, investing in relationships that might take years to really pay off.
And building trust, which is, let's be honest, not easy in this day and age.
Especially in a field as potentially unpredictable as global trade.
Okay, so we started with a company overview, right? And suddenly we're talking about resilience, adaptability, the importance of strong relationships in a really complex world. It's impressive. 25,000 tons of steel is one thing, but how they do it is pretty fascinating.
It really is. It makes you wonder. In a world that's grappling with all these supply chain issues, geopolitical uncertainty, could their approach be a model for other businesses? That blend of agility, thinking long-term, really focusing on collaboration.
That's a question I'm walking away with for sure.
Definitely gives you a new perspective.
There's a lot more to steel beams than meets the eye.
A whole world of hidden depths we never really consider.
So fascinating. And on that note, we'll be back next week with a deep dive into a whole new world of intriguing insights. Catch you then.